Right, my little beanies, it's the very last chapter today. Have you thought about what might happen? I've been thinking about it and I don't know because I can't remember this story. But the Iron Man is going to save the day, isn't he? Hopefully. So we've got this big monster dragon thing taking up the whole of Australia. And Hogarth, is that his name? The little boy, yes, Hogarth, the little boy, he's asked the Iron Man to help. So chapter 5 is the Iron Man's challenge. Okay. There was no time to be wasted. The Iron Man allowed himself to be taken to pieces. Arms, legs, body, head, all separate. So each part could be flown out to Australia on a different airliner. He was too big to be flown out in one piece, probably too heavy. At the same time, a ship sailed from China, loaded with great iron girders, and another ship sailed from Japan, loaded with fuel oil. The Iron Man had ordered these. The girders and the oil and a team of engineers were unloaded on the beach of northern Australia near the Space Bat Angel Dragon's neck. Then the Iron Man's parts were landed at the same spot and the engineers fitted him back together again. He stood up on the beach and shouted his challenge. "Sit up!" he roared. Hurt me throat then. "Sit up and take notice, you great space lizard!" The Space Bat Angel Dragon sat up slowly. He had never noticed the fussing of the boats and aeroplanes down there on the beach near his neck. Now he gazed in surprise at the Iron Man, who seemed very tiny to him, though his voice was big enough. The Iron Man spoke again. "I challenge you," he shouted, "to a test of strength." A test of strength? The Space Bat Angel Dragon couldn't believe his ears. A tiny little creature like the Iron Man challenging him to a test of strength? He simply laughed, loud and long. Then he peered down again at the Iron Man, while the echo of his laugh was still rolling round the earth. He peered down out of the sky at this odd little thing on the beach, with the even tinier men scuttling around it. "I'm not sure about this," the dragon thought. "I bet he can beat him easy. I'm sure he's thinking that. Anyway, and if I can prove myself stronger than you are, then you must promise to become my slave," cried the Iron Man. The dragon smiled. Aircraft flew around, watching this amazing conversation between the Space Bat Angel Dragon and the Iron Man. Ships out at sea watched through telescopes. "And if you don't accept my challenge," shouted the Iron Man, "then you're a miserable, cowardly reptile not fit to bother with." The Space Bat Angel Dragon was so astounded that he agreed. "Why," he thought, "when this silly little creature has finished his antics, I'll just lick him up." So the monster agreed and watched to see what the test of strength was to be. After all, if he wanted, he could flatten the Iron Man with just one eyelash. The engineers had fastened all the girders together in the shape of a grid. The huge iron bed, the size of a house, just stood on the beach now. Under this, they had made a steel-lined pit. Now they poured fuel oil into the pit. The Space Bat Angel Dragon watched. Now they lit the fuel oil and the flames roared up fiercely through the bars of the grid. And now the Space Bat Angel Dragon got his first shock. The Iron Man was stretching himself out on his back on the grid among the flames, his ankles crossed, his hands folded behind his head, just as if he were in bed, while the flames raged under and around him. The monster stared down, and the Iron Man smiled up amidst the flames. There he is, look. He's laying on the bed of flames with his hands behind his head, smiling up at the dragon. I'm going to have to go now because that's 5 minutes, so I shall be back in a minute with the rest of it.